August 1st, 2025, 2:13 a.m. The Mediterranean sky appeared calm. Gentle waves lapped against the steel hulls of Israeli warships. Inside the cabins, the crew slept, their life jackets lying nearby. None of them knew they were sailing through the final night of their lives. Meanwhile, thousands of kilometers away, in Iran's western desert, 15 missile silos slowly opened. No sound, no warning, no declaration of war. The red button was pressed. In the name of the fallen martyrs, let fire speak tonight. Boom! The Shahab-6, Iran's latest generation hypersonic ballistic missile, launched into the sky at Mach 12 speed, undetectable by radar, inaudible to sonar, and unstoppable by any known defense system on Earth. 2:19 a.m., the Mediterranean turned red. The first missile struck the INS Lahav, Israel's most advanced frigate. The blast tore through the sea, turning waves into fire and blood. 5 seconds later, the second missile hit the INS Yafo, slicing the ship in half like bread. The crew had no time to scream. There was no time to save anyone. A total of 20 vessels, including Dolphin-class submarines carrying nuclear missiles, were destroyed, sunk, and burning. The shockwave reached the shores of Lebanon and Cyprus. Fishermen docked in the harbor watched fireballs rising in the distance. It was like watching the sea scream, said an eyewitness from Tripoli, Lebanon. Israel fell silent. No signals, no communication, nothing to report because no one survived. 2:35 a.m., Tel Aviv, Israeli Navy Main Command Headquarters. Communication lost with the Mediterranean Fleet. The communications officer was pale. His hands trembled, headset slipping from his ears. Try again. Reconnect to Anis Lahav. We did, General. All signals gone. Silence. Suddenly, the radar screen flashed red. A message appeared. All assets lost. No response. General Reuven Barkai, head of the Israeli Navy, stood frozen. This can't be happening. 30 seconds later, the command center was flooded with satellite reports. 20 ships vanished from the map. Military satellites recorded fire blazing across the sea. Heat sensors confirmed a chain of massive explosions. We just lost an entire fleet in under 7 minutes. Meanwhile, Israel's government crisis room was packed with top officials. Netanyahu stormed in, half-dressed in his suit, his face pale with fear. He raised his voice and shouted, "Who let this happen? Where is the Iron Dome? Where is our naval defense?" No one dared answer, because everyone already knew the truth. No system on Earth can intercept lightning-fast hypersonic missiles. Except God. Breaking. 20 Israeli warships destroyed. Suspected Iranian missile strike. Around the world, defense industry stocks plummeted. The shekel fell 11% within 2 hours. Financial markets in Europe and the US went into crisis mode. In the streets of Jerusalem and Haifa, people came out of their homes. Not in panic, but in confusion. How could this happen? When was the last time Israel was defeated at sea? Israel didn't just lose ships, they lost their confidence. August 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. Tehran time. The president of Iran appeared at the podium with a cold expression. Behind him, the emblem of the Revolutionary Guard. In his hand, an intelligence report. The sound of cameramen echoed in the room. Then, the statement began. We had no intention of starting a war. We merely responded to a warning with action. If you touch our waters, we will burn your fleet. The world froze. In an exclusive report by Al Mayadeen and RT, the following revelations came to light. Iran had been developing stealth-guided hypersonic technology since 2022, the result of joint research with China and Russia. The Shahab-6 missiles weren't launched through conventional trajectories, but from underground using supersonic electromagnetic propulsion systems, leaving almost no heat signature. These missiles utilize AI-powered multi-targeting, allowing each missile to recalculate its trajectory in real time, even if the target ships changed position. No modern defense system can detect or predict this missile's path, revealed a military analyst in Berlin. The blow wasn't just against Israel. CIA and Mossad were humiliated. They had always believed Iran can only fight on land. Their tech is outdated. Their weapons are predictable. But the world had been too focused on the skies over Gaza and forgot the dark depths beneath the deserts of Kerman. A former Mossad agent admitted, "We fell asleep, and they rose as a monster." Turkey and Qatar backed Iran's move as a proportional response. US and UK accused Iran of violating international law. UN held an emergency session, but no resolution was reached. Russia and China silent, but satellite imagery caught troop movements heading toward the Mediterranean. Will Iran launch a second strike? Or is there already a third player silently embedded in this unfolding grand scenario? August 2nd, 2025, 11:40 p.m. Israeli military headquarters, Negev Desert. Lights at full brightness. Bunkers opened. Jericho missiles loaded into underground launchers. Silence, but the heartbeat of the entire world could be felt. On the control system screen, 3 red dots flashed. The capital, the nuclear center, Iran's main military port. Combat drones took to the sky. F-35 jets prepared for deployment. But suddenly, a communications officer shouted, "Jamming signal from above Iraq. Our systems are blinded." Dozens of Israeli military satellites went offline. Coordinate data scrambled. The auto-launch system locked itself. Netanyahu entered the control room. Launch the backup. Use ground protocols. But General Yair Kahavi turned, his face pale. "Sir, we've been sabotaged. Our nuclear systems are no longer under our control." Meanwhile, the world escalated to DEFCON 2. The United States activated its 6th Fleet. The United Kingdom ordered the evacuation of diplomats from Tel Aviv and Tehran. The European Union warned its citizens to prepare for emergency energy scenarios. Turkey shut down all NATO air bases on its territory. On social media, a single word trended globally. Hashtag WW3. Hashtag the last war. Hashtag Iran versus Israel. At 2 a.m., Ali Shamkhani, Iran's national security advisor, appeared on national television. He simply said, "We don't need to step into enemy territory to bring it to its knees. We only need to touch its heart and let it bleed on its own." Israel's entire naval fleet destroyed, its nuclear launch systems hijacked, its people disillusioned, its ground forces waiting without orders. For the first time in modern history, a nation once seen as invincible now stands silent. The question is, will Israel strike back or collapse from within? Is this Iran's victory or just the beginning of a larger war? Or is there a greater force still waiting to make its move?